Alright, today we're diving into one of the most lovable, squish-faced breeds around, the Bulldog. Now, if you've ever owned one, or even spent a little time around them, you know these dogs have some, let's say, quirky behaviors. But here's the thing, some of these weird habits aren't just cute or funny, they could actually be signs of something deeper. So stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll not only be laughing at these bulldog antics, but you'll also learn a few things that might help you take better care of your furry friend. Let's jump in. The famous bulldog nap time. First up on our list of bulldog oddities is their absolute love for naps. Bulldogs can sleep for hours and hours, and when they do, it's never in a normal position. You might find them flat on their backs, paws sticking straight up in the air, or curled up like a little cinnamon roll. It's like they forget they're dogs and think they're some kind of contortionist. But here's a little secret about why they do this: bulldogs have unique physical structures. Their stocky, muscular bodies and short snouts mean they sometimes find it hard to breathe, especially when they lie down. Sleeping in these funny positions can actually help them get more comfortable and breathe a little easier. But don't be fooled, while this is mostly harmless, there's one sleeping behavior that could be a red flag, and we'll get to that soon. Snoring like a freight train. Okay, let's talk about the one thing every bulldog owner can relate to: the snoring. I mean, we're talking about some serious noise levels here. It's like they're trying to compete with a chainsaw or a freight train. The reason for this is pretty simple. Bulldogs, especially English bulldogs, are brachycephalic, meaning they have those adorably smushed faces. While it's super cute, it also means they have narrower airways, and that leads to snoring. Most of the time, it's just part of the bulldog charm. But if that snoring suddenly gets worse, or if your bulldog seems to be struggling to breathe, it could be a sign of something called brachycephalic obstructive airway syndrome, BOAS. We'll talk more about how to spot that later, but for now, let's keep it light. The bulldog wiggle walk. Next up, the famous bulldog walk, or should I say, wiggle. When bulldogs walk, they don't just move like other dogs. They have this adorable waddle where their whole backside kind of swings from side to side. This happens because bulldogs have wide shoulders and narrow hips, giving them that distinct, funny movement. But it's not just for show. This unique gait helps them stay balanced, especially because of their heavy, muscular build. It's just another reason we love them so much. They always look like they're on a little mission, wobbling their way through life. But again, we're keeping things real here. If that adorable waddle starts to look more like a limp, or if they seem stiff when they walk, it could be a sign of joint issues. Bulldogs are prone to hip dysplasia, so that's something you'll want to keep an eye on. Bulldog grumbles and growls. Ever heard a bulldog grumble? It's like they're talking to you, a mix of growling, snorting, and little grunts. Don't worry, they're not mad. Bulldogs just love to vocalize in their own way. It's part of their personality. This behavior is rooted in their history as guard dogs. Bulldogs were bred to be tough, and while they're total softies now, they've held onto that instinct to communicate through these sounds. They might be telling you they want attention, food, or just showing off their mood. But, if those grumbles turn into more aggressive growls or snaps, it might be time to check in on their behavior. Sometimes, bulldogs can get defensive if they're in pain or stressed, and figuring out the root cause is important. Before we wrap up, I've got something special for all you bulldog lovers out there. We know how much you care about your bulldog's health, and honestly, they deserve the best, right? Well, if you've been worried about keeping their gut healthy, I've got you covered. Down in the comments, you'll find a link to an exclusive discount for the best probiotic formulated specifically for bulldogs. Here's the thing, bulldogs are prone to digestive issues, and we've all seen the discomfort they can go through. A healthy gut means a happier, more energetic, and more comfortable bulldog. So, don't wait until you see the signs of discomfort. Click the link, grab your discount, and start giving your bulldog the care they truly deserve. Because at the end of the day, they're not just pets, they're family. The unexpected zoom eyes. Now, this next one will surprise you. Bulldogs, for all their laziness, have moments of sheer chaos. I'm talking about the zoom eyes. One minute, they're sleeping soundly on the couch, and the next, they're sprinting in circles like they've just been charged with a bolt of electricity. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, why do they do this? Well, it's just pent-up energy. Bulldogs are naturally low-energy dogs, but every now and then, they need to let off some steam, and when they do, it's pure entertainment. But here's something to think about. If your bulldog is getting zoom eyes a little too often or seems restless all the time, it might mean they need more exercise or mental stimulation. It's a reminder that, even though they love lounging, bulldogs still need activity to stay healthy. The bulldog stare. Let's talk about the infamous bulldog stare. Bulldogs are known for locking eyes with their owners and just staring. No barking, no growling, just staring. It's kind of like they're reading your mind, waiting for you to do something interesting. This behavior is a sign of their strong bond with humans. Bulldogs are people-oriented dogs, and they love studying what we're doing. Sometimes, they're just looking for attention, but other times, they might be trying to communicate something specific, maybe they're hungry or need to go outside. While most of the time this behavior is harmless, if your bulldog starts staring excessively at walls or objects that aren't moving, it could be a sign of cognitive dysfunction. Bulldogs are prone to certain neurological issues as they age, so it's always worth monitoring if you notice changes in their behavior. Sniffing and snorting. Bulldogs are natural-born sniffers, and they do it loudly. You'll notice them snorting and snuffling around the house, especially when they're curious. This comes from their background as working dogs who use their noses to track. But the snorting doesn't stop there. Bulldogs love to sniff everything: your shoes, the furniture, the ground outside, and sometimes even their own paws. This is just their way of getting to know their environment. It's like they're detectives on the case. Here's the twist: bulldogs can also suffer from nasal issues due to their flat faces, and excessive snorting could be a sign of irritation or blockages. So, while most snorting is completely normal and even endearing, if it gets to the point where they're snorting constantly or seem uncomfortable, it's time for a vet visit. Bulldog drool and slobber. You knew we'd get to this one. Bulldogs are drool machines. If you've got one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. After drinking water? Drool everywhere. After eating? Drool everywhere. It's part of the package. The reason for this is their short snouts and loose jowls, which make it hard for them to control their saliva. It's completely normal, but if your bulldog suddenly starts drooling excessively or the drool has a strange odor, it could be a sign of dental issues or even heat stroke. So, while most of the time it's just part of being a bulldog owner, always be on the lookout for changes in the drool game. So, there you have it, the weird, wonderful world of bulldog behaviors. From their goofy sleep positions to their zoomy outbursts, these dogs are full of quirks that make us love them even more. But remember, while most of these behaviors are completely normal and just part of their charm, some can be indicators of bigger issues. So always pay attention to any changes in your bulldog's behavior, and don't hesitate to get them checked out if something seems off. In the end, that's what being a bulldog owner is all about: loving the quirks, but also making sure your best friend stays happy and healthy. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and fun facts about your favorite breeds. And hey, share your bulldog's weirdest habit in the comments. I can't wait to hear all about it.
There we go. Good dog.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
The jaws.